So everybody, Trenton with Soundlink TV, hanging out with Sky from Issues here in Charlotte, North Carolina on a rainy and cold December night. How you doing tonight?
Other than rainy and cold, I feel great.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, within a month, less than a month, 2019 is going to be over. It's going to be 2020, which is when you guys are probably going to be watching this. So I guess, let's just like backtrack to your 2019. It's been crazy. It's been wild. A new record, new territory for you guys with that and stuff. So I guess summarize 2019 before we get into like more specific stuff.
Well, 2019 for us has been like 70% strife, 30% sick as hell, and 10% anxiety. And I know that makes 110%, but I'm not. Don't ask me to math. But for most of the year, we've just been preparing to like put out our album. We were all like stressed out about it and broke as hell. Hence the song "Flexin'." Who it's like that's like some real shit. So it's just like it's nice to like. I don't know, it feels like a huge release to have the album out and to like tour on it and play all these songs and stuff. We're putting the whole thing. So it's like, I don't know, I feel great now, but I felt awful at the beginning. It's like New Year, who dis? Let's go.
Yeah, so this is obviously, the first album where Tyler is front and center and all that. And so that comes with new challenges. A lot of people wondering, what's it going to sound like and stuff. And you guys pulled it off a lot. I've seen a lot of praise for it. A lot of people seem to like it and everything. So did that influence the direction musically of the sound any, or were you guys just going to sort of head in that way regardless?
Honestly, the sound kind of influenced our member change, not the other way around, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so we have a song on our new album called "Without You" that was written during the Headspace cycle, and we finished it and we're like, this song is awesome, but there's no way it'll fit on Headspace. And like, honestly, what the hell is Michael even gonna do? It's like, does he sing on it? Does he scream on it? Like, does he rap on it? Like, it was just a struggle, and we love that song too much. So we just didn't like show it to him. We didn't bring it up or anything. And as the cycle went on, it became clearer and more obvious that like the direction we were going as a band was just the complete opposite of where Michael wanted to go. Yeah. And he just wasn't killing it, honestly. He just didn't really care that much. So it was just like, like the what is it? The benefit of the whole, the benefit of the group, I think matters the most. Yeah. And like we just loved the music so much, we didn't want to like water it down or like have them sit out a song or something, or like force a screaming part here and like water some, whatever. Yeah, that whole thing. So the sound kind of happened from like, I don't know, I just heard our music and was like, this is cool, but it's really fragmented. Like, here's an R&B part, here's a breakdown, here's like a country part, whatever. And I was like, what happens if we do a true fusion of everything that we're into? So it's like, instead of having a riff and then an R&B part, what if you have an R&B riff? Yeah. Like, what does that sound like?
Yeah, I think what's funny about it is I don't know which member of the band said it, but like during it, someone said this is the heaviest record we've ever done, or something like that. Was that at the time? What was that about? Because obviously, it's if you're going off a pure breakdown, screaming, it's not. But maybe lyrically, topically, like what you guys are putting out there emotionally, it could be. So what was the context of saying this is the heaviest record ever? Because some kids listen to it, they're like, "Where's the screaming? Where's the breakdowns?" And you know what I mean?
Well, I would say, what we meant was literally, like, it is musically, in my opinion, the heaviest record we've ever written. Mm-hmm. Like, if you had an instrumental version of the self-titled and Headspace and Beautiful Oblivion would literally be, like, in a completely different universe as far as how insanely heavy the instrumentals are. Okay. But it's like a spoonful of sugar phenomenon. So it's like, that's the whole, that's how System of a Down and Seven Dust and Linkin Park, example, could get away with having such heavy parts, is because their singer were singing like solid like top lines over it. Yeah. And obviously we take that to another level, like, like obviously those bands have their own brand of aggression, but our level is like, what if our singer is just the most pop that you can possibly get, but then our instrumentals are just like the most stupidly heavy thing that you can get.
I mean, something about it too. Even with Sleep Token, I was watching them play before I came up here and stuff, and even Bring Me the Horizon, a good example. It's like a lot of these bands, I guess you can call it guitar pop or whatever. It's like
guitar pop.
Yeah, it's like
I've heard R&M.
R&M, yeah.
Like rhythm and metal or whatever.
Okay.
R&B.
Yeah, but it's like the same type of, I guess, jazzy, funky stuff on a low tune guitar. Right. It's the same stuff. It's the same as jazz music, except down tuned. You know what I mean? And funk and all that. And so you down tune it, put someone like Tyler, or I don't know, Sleep Token singer's name, forgive me, but you put him on it or something.
That's his name.
Yeah, Vessel. Yeah, and you got this, insane like catchy song that could be on the radio. You'd hear it at the VMAs, but
Right.
only difference is there's some down-tuned guitars in it.
Right.
So it's weird how like that heavy side and that pop side can just like blend so well together.
Right. Well, it's kind of funny to me too, because from where I'm sitting, like I'm just we're all of us are just a product of our influences, and really nothing on our album is new to any of us. Because I'll hear I'll hear Downfall, and in the bridge it like goes super low. Basically we play the chorus an octave down at the end, get it downfall down, whatever. So like I hear that and I go like, oh, you're right, this is exactly like just us biting Meshuggah. That's the whole point of that, is because me and AJ, we saw Meshuggah, it changed our life, and then we were like, yo, what if we played this chorus an octave down so we could sound like Meshuggah? Like that's the whole thing. But then in the context of a pop song, people are like, oh, this is new, this is different, like that whole thing. But it's just funny because I hear I hear our music and hear where it came from more than I hear it like by itself.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to hear it as a fan.
Yeah.
So when people like come back and review or out, with just like their thoughts, a lot of times it's like, people don't know what to think, or they love it, or both, and it's like,
It's a grower. It's a grower.
Right, and I've been sitting on this stuff for like 2 years, so I'm like, yeah, I'm already bored of it.
It's like where you guys are go next. And speaking of that, this album is, the poppiest album, without the screaming. I say that without the screaming, all the singing, Tyler, just taking full reins of that. So, it's this day and age where like a lot of these bands who do change their sound a little bit, get on the radio and do all this kind of stuff, go a little bit further. But you guys have, as far as I know, haven't had that type of success. Is that somewhere you guys are trying to go? Maybe not in the rock world, but maybe in the pop world. Playing with bands like, I don't know, like Walk the Moon or the band Camino. Bands like that who are like sort of like nice. Who are sort of like poppy and all that, but like they're also like classified as rock, but they're also like really big in that side of music. Right. So
well, that's where I think the rock world is way behind. Is that I think radio is completely obsolete with rock music and guitar music in general. So I feel like it's just like. Obviously, I would not be upset at that. I would not be upset at mainstream success and like getting played on the radio and all that whole thing. But really, just with the state of the industry, like that, I just don't think that's going to happen. Yeah. I mean, it might happen. Like it's got to be like a Nirvana situation where a band comes out of nowhere and changes the industry overnight. Because every once in a while that happens. Yeah. I don't know if it's us. It's probably a band that like. I mean, it could be Sleep Token. It could be.
Dude, they sound like Bastille Breakdowns, like.
Right. But whenever that happens, like, I would hope that either we're there for it, either it's us, we're there for it, or we influence the band that did it.
Yeah.
I would hope that we're at least a part of it, and then that's mostly just because like we've been trying to push it. Like that's the whole thing. I think rock is in a slump. Yeah. Which is why so many bands have been breaking out and like taking so many risks. Bring Me the Horizon, us. Of Amorosa, and then so many of those bands have been getting so much shit for it, and it's because I just don't think we're totally, as a community, totally ready for it, which is totally why it makes the most sense to do it now.
Yeah, and I think even going beyond, I mean, Lil Aaron's on this tour, and like just this past week alone, Epitaph. Yeah, Epitaph has signed Gucci, High Waters, and Lil Lotus, and so like this whole like the whole like SoundCloud emo trap rap is like becoming like what MySpace was for like us when we were kids, and so it's kind of cool to see you guys are in both those worlds. Like you guys could go and maybe like in a hip hop side if you wanted to, I mean, or you guys could go heavier if you wanted to. It's like you guys are like right there to do whatever you guys wanted to do.
Right, and I think that's the thing is, our album. By proxy is like Beautiful Oblivion is definitely the most accessible album that we've ever had or that we've ever put out, like from a mainstream standpoint. But if we were like trying to do a money grab, we would write our first album again.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's because that's like the album that we put out was not the album it was not targeted towards the fans that were waiting for our new album.
Yeah.
Like they were like fans of Headspace and our self-titled. So then we put out something that is definitely the most sincere music that we put out. So I think like people are connecting to that much. But then it's also something new that a lot of people that are and it's fair. A lot of people that have been fans for us for years. Like it's just not their taste.
Yeah.
So frankly, I'm just like. I hope it works. I hope people like it, but I love it, and that's kind of all that matters to me.
Yeah.
you know, it'd be nice if I had a mansion in 10 years and, you know, I'll single-handedly revive MTV Cribs, you know, that whole thing.
Yeah.
But, like, if that doesn't happen, you know, it's fine. Like, I was here and I did my best.
Yeah, get that metalcore money, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Metalcore money.
I think the singer for Varial started that or something, and then like Fearless gave them like one tour they were on with Wage War. They had like this one of those little Monopoly money shooters or Uno shooters, and Fearless printed his face on it with their name with like metalcore money, and at the end of the show he just like shh sprayed it around. So
that is so sick.
Hashtag metalcore money's become like a thing, I guess. So,
metalcore money, baby.
There you go.
2019, baby. 2020, baby.
Yeah. So
seeing clearly.
Hey. Yeah, so I guess pushing for 2020 before we wrap it up here, what can you talk about so far, I guess, for like maybe the first like quarter or so that you guys have planned for?
Well, yeah, we just announced a tour with Dance Gavin Dance. It's going to be very sick.
Epstein didn't kill himself?
Epstein did not kill himself.
Have you seen that flyer? The little thing on the flyer?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what. Oh,
That's what little writing is in there.
I've been hearing about like something. I just put two and two together. That's so sick. Epstein did not kill himself. Rich people are not your friend. Yeah, so that's like some shit we're working on. I'm really excited because Animals are the Leaders and Dance Gavin Dance and Veil of Maya, like, it's just the sickest bill. All the coolest players. And then we're working on some more music video stuff. We're doing a bunch of stuff at NAMM. I have a signature bass coming out in January. Yeah. And I think, I don't know. I don't know if anybody else's stuff is like far along enough to announce. But I know we're working on a ton of stuff.
Yeah, and Tyler has the solo music out this year too, so
yeah.
But yeah, so thanks for your time today. Looking forward to seeing where Beautiful Oblivion takes you guys in 2020.
All right, thanks for having me.
Trent with SoundlinkTV, hang out with Sky from Issues. Thanks for watching.